skip.
All of us girls did really well.
That's what a lot of people don't know. I had the 4x4 the next day.
So we got there and we were kind of confused because Rose and I entered with Ottawa Lions. So then I went up to the ticket guy and I was like, hi, like, we're here with the Ottawa Lions. Can I get just my wristband? And then he goes, Quinn? And I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, wait, did you say Quinn Coughlin? And he was like, yeah. And then he handed me my bib. And I was like, how did you know who I was? Like, I was actually like shocked. I was like, he must watch a CTFL. Like, and I was like, oh, maybe it's because my name was at the top of the list, but my name was not the first one. I was like, so I don't know. It must have just been a lucky guess. Maybe I just look like a Quinn.
Feel famous yet?
I do feel famous, actually. It made me feel really good about myself. He knows I'm seated third in my heat. 200 meters is so short.
I feel like my expectations going into that day, I didn't place too many just because I was coming off of an injury, and like I knew there was a chance it could go good, but I also knew that there was a chance that it could just be a little rusty, so I didn't want to put too much pressure on that and just kind of get back in the blocks and like learn to race again and just feel confident in my body and like where I'm at health-wise. Thank you. Warming up on the track was a little hectic. There were just like a lot of bodies everywhere and they had a whole bunch of lanes closed off. So it's like, I think there are, I don't know, over 100 hurdlers, right? And they had 2 lanes open for warm up. So that like definitely made it a little challenging to be like efficient. Yeah, but I mean, I got everything done. I kind of just figured out alternative ways to like get the job done. So I did. Definitely different from Canadian meets. I just feel like the amount of people they have signed up for one event is honestly the amount of people who are actually at a meet in Canada. So it's kind of like crazy to think like there's just people everywhere, a lot going on, and yeah.
Not the greatest. That's okay. I'll get it next time.
Do you know what you're looking to fix for the next one?
No, I'm just gonna send it and hope for the best. I never really think. I kind of just go for it.
Prelim was a little disastrous. Like during the run, it actually didn't feel terrible, but it was slow. After that, I just kind of like regrouped. I, put like the stim on my hamstring, tried to like prepare for the final. Final went better. Like it was just a very time that I consistently run, so can't be too upset about that.
This was my first race on a 200 meter and a bank track since BU and Harvard last year, because we train on the 400 track in Ottawa, so I don't like practice on tight turns like that or on a bank or anything. I haven't run on that for years, so I was like really nervous going into it. I didn't really know what to expect because I did not run that good last year either, but I did have an expectation of running fast and I really wanted to beat my outdoor PB.
Definitely like nervous in the fact of like opening the season and like not entirely being sure where I'm at. Also like having never really run, like I've run lots of relays, but like not just like an individual 400 on a 200 meter track, especially with a bank and a cut it. Like that honestly was all new to me as well.
I didn't get out quite hard enough, and then I like pushed whenever I needed to. I wasn't quite aggressive enough at the cutoff. And then I tried to kind of make a move on the back straight, but I didn't really like fully commit to it. So then I was just kind of running in lane 2, and then like the Stanford girl kind of stepped out halfway into the lane 1 and 2 as well, and I was like, so then just I couldn't pass. And then we come off the curve and I'm like about to pass. I'm like, okay, like now's my time, like I gotta go. And the Stanford girl like stepped right in front of me, and I was like, so then I was just like, okay, well it's literally over now. There's like 10 meters left of the race. So I was kind of annoyed. 0.03 over 55, but it's fine. It was a crazy race, but like I'm happy with it. I just am like still like kind of pissed off because there's so much thinking back on it. I was like, oh, I could have fixed this, but like it's so easy to say that. Thinking back, like in the moment, I couldn't do it.
That first 200, not even 200, that first like 150 is crucial because that's that cut in. Where you get in that cut in legit will define your whole race. Like I just got out really hard, tucked in behind the first girl for the cut in, which was good because I kind of made a move to make sure I was in front of the other 2 girls, which had me in like a really fast 200 split, which was good. And then it's just like maintain as you can. It's a different kind of fatigue though because you don't have a lot of kick left in you at that point because you go out so hard. But yeah, I thought it went well. I think a bit of work just on my kick and just keeping better form and stuff in like my last 100. But overall, like I was super happy to open the season like that.
One of my big goals was beat my outdoor PB, and then I really wanted sub 56, and I basically had it. I got cut off a few times, but that'll come with, I guess, experience too. So I was kind of running in lane 2 for like the last like 150 meters of my race. So I think that, whatever, but overall I'm really happy with it. I haven't run on a banked track or a 200-meter track in literally a year since this meet last year, so I'm really happy.
Yes, we had went to the New Balance headquarters.
They started off with a little walkthrough of, I guess, like the shoe design area with New Balance, which was like really cool because there was like a bunch of shoes that we'll never see.
We couldn't take pictures and we just saw future shoes or shoes that will never be sold. So that was pretty cool.
So there was just hundreds and hundreds of shoes. We saw prototyping designs and drawings on a bunch of different cubicles all around. And we actually had to like feel and handle the shoes, which was amazing to see kind of like the thought process of the designers of New Balance, and then some of the unreleased prototypes that, I mean, the public will never see.
They actually like did say that they have like, they've been sending out prototypes for like a long jump spike. So yeah, they told us like a whole bunch of stuff and it was really cool.
Having blocks is definitely tough. I've honestly never raced without blocks, I don't think, so that was tough. But I mean, it's whatever, like that's just the way it is. It was unfortunate that the 2 girls who were supposed to be on the inside of me ended up dropping, I guess, or scratching, so I had nobody within 2 lanes of me, which obviously kind of sucks because there was no one pushing me. I still feel like I got out hard. Again, I don't run 200s typically, so that's, to me, a lot of it was just kind of like a up in the air. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I thought it went well.
On your mark.
I was out in lane 6 too with no blocks. I was like, oh my gosh. And so then I did not get out hard at all. It's also so hard to go to like a faster pace event after running the event like the 400. Like your legs are heavy, but also like you just aren't getting out as aggressively as you would in a 200. I finally got moving, but I didn't get moving until like 100 meters left. I was 100 meters into the race and I was like, oh, I know how to run fast. And then I started running fast and like I was like ripping the last 100 meters, but the first 100 were so slow. I literally ran it like the first 100 of my 400. So I was like, but it's fine. I ran like 25.6, so not much better than my seed, but I definitely did not run it right, so it's fine.
Today I competed at Harvard. I did high jump and the 400 meter. And I was competing at Harvard on the Friday because I missed the deadline for BU meet, even though I was reminded a few times. So high jump was like, okay. I did jump 182. I was hoping for like, you know, close to 190. And it was like Harvard has like a really springy track, so, and I was feeling pretty good, like physically. So the high jump was around, I finished around like 2:30, and then the 400 was like 3:25. So I had like a bit of time, like I had a little snack, took some caffeine because I was falling asleep. But it went well. I ran 50.4 something, which was really good. I was hoping for like a 50 point anything, and I felt like I still had a little bit in the tank at the end, which is not how you want to feel necessarily, but a good sign, because I was speeding up kind of towards the last curve, and you don't really want to do that in a 400 if you ran the first part properly. So happy with the 4.
Okay, well, in Canada, most of the time they like provide you with tape because I think you're supposed to have 2 pieces of tape. So I bring tape, and then, I mean, the tape measure's on me. My coach is always like, you need to bring a tape measure with you. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. But like, like luck hasn't ran out, right? So I've just never really bothered to like send myself to Canadian Tire to purchase one. Well, luck kind of ran out because the officials didn't have one at this one. And then Koloski had to ask a person from a different school, and they were nice, so that worked out. And then I used like athletic tape, just put on the ground. It was fine. I mean, made do. I only get nervous, like, I think once I'm actually getting into the competition. I feel like I was just like pacing back and forth, like, honestly, half the time I'm a little bit bored. I'm just like, but I try not to convince myself I'm not, because I feel like once you get to that headspace, you're bored, you're kind of like exiting like the competition mindset. So I'm like, I always sing inappropriate songs in my head. I'm not even kidding, because you can't have your headphones, right? So it's just like, okay, what songs can I like sing in my head that'll like keep me energized? I have a lot of swear words and like get me going.
Done. So this 8, you're getting 225 for the 8 earlier. So none of them.
By the time I was even trying 175, I'd only jumped 3 times because I had a very clean competition that day. So it was something, and then after waiting for an hour and like 20 minutes to start, it was just like, oh wow, I'm getting all these on the first attempt. Overall, I'm happy. I actually think like I had some strong performances. Season best in high jump, and like just like a really clean card, like first attempts on most of my jumps. Like really happy about that. I just think it was solid.
We've heard that every time we launch.
We got there exactly at the training time. I think it was 4 o'clock when we got there. So there was no one else there at that point, and we kind of started doing our own thing.
Near the end of our little pre-comp is when a bunch of pros started rolling in. So like,
I was shaky in the blocks. I'm like, what? This has to be the best block start of my whole life. Every step has to be perfect, even if they're not watching. It's just the fact that I'm beside these guys, those are the Olympians and world champions. I have to be my best self. It truly felt amazing.
Not the scariest rep of my life at all.
For me, I was freaking out. Like Noah Lyles walked in and it's like, oh cool, that's Noah Lyles. But then it was like Ry Benjamin and Freddie Crittenden, and I was like, holy shit. Like,
I will go talk to them after, I promise. If they're still chilling after this rep, I might just go right over there. But yeah, man, no, seriously, you guys are big inspo for me, so good luck this weekend. I hope you kill it. Yeah, enjoy. Have a good night.
It was Rye, like said, like genuinely, like thanks for just treating us like humans, dude. Like I appreciate it. And so that was pretty cool.
Rye was really cool. Like he was super. It was really rushed. Like there was a person there that was like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. One question was really profound. Was like I asked him how the first half an hour was after winning that gold medal.
That half an hour looked like drug testing, press conference, and I actually got back to the village at like 3 a.m. I had the 4x4 the next day, so a lot of people don't know. I had the 4x4 the next day. I didn't go to bed until 5, because like you're like up here, you're on a high, so it's hard to sleep after you run that fast, and it's so exciting. Everyone's like blowing you up. So
I was like, how did you like 5 a.m. as an athlete? That's crazy. Like some athletes are waking up at that time.
I caught up and I said, like, Rye, can I like walk and talk real quick? And he's like, yeah, man, like, what's up? I explained to him how I had the exact same part, like I hit the exact same part on my foot every time with my trail leg. So I said, can you sign it right here, just as motivation to get my foot over? So he signed it, put his name, and he wrote "get over" across on the bottom too. So that was pretty awesome.
The BU track, you very much cannot do your warm-up at the track. It's so busy. So I went outside and it was pouring rain, but that's okay because all the girls, we were all soaked. But and then doing drills, just there's bodies everywhere. Even just to get to the track, like squishing through all the throwers. Start line, I was just kind of thinking, all right, you might not be comfortable at the race distance, but you've been training for it, so you're ready for it. I was happy that I was in the upper waterfall because it was a lot less crowded. It was still very crowded though.
On your mark.
Right before the race, the pacer told us that they were going at 9 flat pace. So when the gun went off, I like knew exactly who the pacer was, so I jumped right onto like the line of girls like with them. The hard thing with the 3K is I went to run 36 O's and like 36.1 plus 36.1, like that eventually adds up to be way off pace when you're doing it 15 times. So each lap I was just kind of like stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. I just kept racing. Like there was 2 girls that I was hanging on to. I made like a little surge. Near the end, I wanted to kick around 1K to go, but I got nervous since the race is so new to me, so I waited. And obviously I regret waiting now because I had a lot left the last 200. But I don't know, I'm taking it all as things to work on for the next race, so I'm not too upset with it. Overall, the meet was awesome. All of us girls did really well. It was cool to watch them.
It was like a very competitive meet. It was really awesome to like watch the other races. I honestly also loved that it was like all girls. And it was kind of fun to just watch the track girls like rip it. Like it was pretty awesome. So yeah, it was a great meet.